Good afternoon and welcome to TTMOE at 3. So for those of you who have been hearing all of those Thriving Tuesday moments of encouragement for the last 5 years, we just kind of condensed it all to TTMOE because we're trying to do it at 3 and it just kind of rhymes. So TTMOE at 3, Thriving Tuesday moments of encouragement on Tuesdays at 3 p.m. unless something crazy happens. And so I'm glad that you are here. Please let me know you are here. Hey, Miss Lucy. Good to see you. Today we are going to share, those of you who are coming in, whether you're coming in at the time that we're doing this or later or tomorrow or whatever time you do it, please push share right now. Like, love, do all of those things that you do, especially if you're on your phone, and then share. We are hoping that as each of you are being blessed, that you will see fit to bless some other people with this few moments of encouragement. Hey, Del John, good to see you as always. Hey, Lady Clarice, glad you are here. So today we are going to talk about, we're in our gratefulness month. We're going to talk about gratefulness, thankfulness, each week during this month, including that week after Thanksgiving, as we are then thankful for what we are getting ready to embark upon with our Advent season. But today we want to talk about how important it is to look for reasons to be grateful, to be thankful. Last week we talked about counting blessings. But as I talked to a couple of people and as I reflected on that, sometimes counting our blessings is hard when we're struggling with looking for ways to be grateful, ways to be thankful, for reasons. When life has just been almost unbearable, reasons to be thankful can sometimes be dim, not be bright lights in our life. Sometimes it can be it can be difficult to see your way to thankfulness. Especially when you've been inundated with death and sorrow and uncertainty and trying to make ends meet, and they just don't meet at all. It's hard to find reasons to count, ways to count your blessings when all you're looking at is your struggle. But here's what I've come to understand, and thank you for that, Miss Lucy, that when we look for reasons to be thankful, we always find some. Every single time. But it has to be intentional. We have to look for reasons to be thankful. We can't dismiss it and say, well, I know I'm thankful and I know God has been good. I know, as if it's some foregone conclusion. It's not a foregone conclusion. Every time that you find a reason to be thankful, you ought to be excited about it. I found this reason to be thankful. I found this reason to be thankful. And I know I'm going through this, but even in the midst of it, I found this reason to be thankful. Hey, Amy. So there are times when we have to just stop and do what that Bright Side Somewhere song says. Not rest until we find it. We got to find the place of thankfulness. We got to find that one little thing in the midst of all of that darkness. We got to find that nightlight. That little thing that we can be thankful for. Even when we're going through it. Going through some treatments, going through some bad times, going through some struggles, going through some heartaches, heartbroken. But are you grateful that you can be grateful that you ever loved it all? So we've got to look for it. We got to be intentional. We've got to not stop till we find reasons to be thankful. And then we've got to help other people find reasons to be thankful. Far too often we allow people to give us only the bellyache, only the negative, only the struggle, only what they're going through. And we should be listening. Yes, we should. We should listen to the hurts and the pains of our brothers and sisters, because here's the thing. When one of us hurts, if we really love them, if they're hurting, we're hurting for them. But just like we're hurting for them, after we've listened and after we've let them vent and after we've assured them that they're not alone, we need to be able to kind of segue lightly and lovingly into reasons for them to be grateful anyhow. It may not be the way they want it, but as long as they're still here, as long as God is still making a way out of no way, as long as they're able to see light at the end of that dark tunnel, they have something to be thankful for. I don't know about you, but sometimes when life is a struggle, when life seems like all I can see is what's wrong, I have to literally be still and say, God, what are you doing? And every time I stop and say, God, what are you doing? And I listen and I'm attentive and I watch, I find that there's something in it, no matter how hard it is, to be thankful for. And that's just the way it is. This is the 22nd year of the anniversary of my mother's death a couple of weeks ago. And for a while, I seemed to not be able to find anything good about that. We never kind of look at how that there can be any good in death. But here's what I came to realize that I was grateful for. We had no secrets. I had no guilt. There was nothing that we did not discuss that could have been discussed. There was nothing that we could have spent time having conversation with that I forgot to say. I was grateful even in my sorrow because I did not have guilt. I did not have the kind of emotional pain that says we left something undone. And so even in the midst of the greatest sorrow of my life, I'm grateful to God that God showed me how to be grateful. That's why I often tell those when sorrow comes, when death comes, when we spend so much time on what we lost, not L-O-S-T, but just lost, L-O-S-S, we fail to spend time being grateful for the intersection of life. I often say what Marcus Holmes often says is that his mother told him, don't spend so much time being upset about what you lost that you don't take the time to be grateful for what you still have. So while I may have some struggles with my limbs, I'm grateful that I'm not hurting like I was last year. I'm grateful that God has allowed me to do the things that I asked God for. And I'm just telling you mine, but you need to name them. You need to look for reasons to be grateful, to be thankful, even in darkest moments. Because if you can think about the Lord and when you're in your darkest moment, then that means that you're thinking about some light. And in that you can be thankful. You may be having some issues in your family. Children may not be doing how you want them to do. But when you think about the fact that God blessed you with them and gave you the opportunity to pour into them love, then you can be thankful that God gave you that kind of heart that was open to be able to love. Some people wish they could love, but they're so hardened that they can't even find their way to the empathy, the sympathy, the heart to care for someone else. If you've had your heart broken, it's okay. God still mends those. And we're grateful for that. All we have to do is give God the pieces. So go forward this week, today, tomorrow, as we prepare for Thanksgiving and recognize that, as the song says, every day is a day of Thanksgiving. When you think about the goodness of God, despite all you may be going through, gratefulness has to still be on your agenda. Look for it. Don't rest till you find it. God has given you reasons to be grateful. Look for them. Find them. In pain, be grateful you can feel it. Even though it's painful, even though you wish it would go away. But pain means you still have nerves that work. And trust that God is able to still be your healer. Be grateful. Look for reasons to be grateful. 1 Thessalonians 5:18 says, in everything, be grateful. Be thankful. In everything. Not necessarily about everything, but in everything, be grateful. God bless you. Heaven smile on you. Look for reasons to be grateful. Not just one reason. I bet you can find 2, 3, 4, 5 reasons to be grateful, to be thankful. And when you do, give God praise, because God allows you to, even in the midst of the storm, see the lighthouse of gratefulness. May God bless and keep you is my prayer. Look for reasons to be grateful and be encouraged. See you soon.